we're live with more Jupiter energy. I guess it's Thanksgiving, if it matters to you. It doesn't really matter. See, if you said something like that and people caught this video after Thanksgiving, they'd be like, oh, this is an old video. It's not old. You're old. It's new to you, bro. You never heard no shit like this before. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. Those are the Ascending Masters. We are your spiritual healers and leaders and shaman, seer, oracle, lightworkers, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God. They are your messengers of God. No, I told you it's our old address.
I don't remember that one.
Hold on a second. I am God's first creation of himself in the female form. I am the dark goddess Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you would have seen what I posted in my community page and anything, my latest live video and anything in my shorts. Sorry, I'm typing and talking, which is like not the thing to do. That's not true. Whatever.
What?
There it goes. Sorry. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to help my daughter with something.
You're supposed to press save so I can use it.
For what?
For money.
No, what'd you use?
Moolah. Okay.
Yeah, get out of the face.
Da-dang.
Da-dang. Sorry, she was cashing. I had to cash out the kid before I could get started with the shit. Alright, get started with the shit. What's up, everyone? Alright, so, I'm in a Bob Marley fucking energy again. We're right back where we started, right back in the light. Seriously, some guru. Obviously, messing with you is gonna get you there. Really? Yep. He is the gateway to the light, and he was the highest level of the light, and Jesus is the way. Who are you? I'm the dark goddess. I'm the in-between. I'm all the darkness between, you and the light. Really? Yeah. And in order to understand that, you would have had to catch my last video. We're just going to move on. Why? Because moving on up. It looks really cool from this vision. I need to put them back where they go, though, and move on. We're talking about self-realization. I never pulled out his book or Mary Magdalene, so we're going to move on with that. Really? Yeah, the Order of Melchizedek. What'd you turn to? I don't know. Page 8 and 81. What chapter is this? Ages, epochs, and dimensions. Okay. Where do I turn to? I'm going to read off of page 81, right in the middle. Stuck in the middle with you. I'm trying to see where, I'm just kind of rereading, and if there's anything we need from before I start here. I don't know. I want to address where we are today with the Melchizedek energy and where we need to go. Sounds like a perfect place to start. Right in the middle of the book. I'll begin by talking about a new birth of freedom. The interpretation of the last New Age is dissimilar to the interpretation of this one, but it got obscured. Is not dissimilar. The key is service. This age is about egalitarianism, so the service has to be applied equally. Who am I? Jesus Christ. I am the goddess of equality. Yes? There cannot be prejudice about gender, race, religion, age, sex, preference, lifestyle, or any of that. The last New Age was open in intent, but as time passed, there was a lot of closure between the old and new Judaism and emerging Christianity. Then the patriarchies that involved largely eliminated the feminine principle. Thank you. Still later, more limitations were imposed in terms of race, economics, and so on. So you could say that the original intent suffered a long, gradual sabotage. And you could say that here in America on Thanksgiving. The idea was to be open. They were open to us. They were open to the palefaces. They were open to this new possibility of new people coming to the lands. They opened their lands and their doors to us. And now look it, we took over their lands, and now we decide who we open the lands and the doors to. Great land of America. Moving on. In this new age, the goal is individual freedom, and that's why there is no hierarchy within our order. Individual freedom. I'm here to teach you that. Everyone has an equal share and an individual opportunity to serve. Those being served gain a different perspective of what a priest is. When you talk about a priest, no matter what your background, there is baggage that goes along with the word. Nobody knows what a priestess is. Who am I? The High Priestess Phoenix. There are a couple people in this building that address me as just that, High Priestess. A lot of people call me Phoenix. Some refuse and just call me Lisa. They just motherfucking refuse. That's okay. Whatever. Bow to me. Just kidding. So we have to reinvest the word priest in the new essence and meaning. For example, there are women priests, and that speaks for itself in terms of service to males and females. When someone is asking for a priest and a woman walks in the room, there are 3 kinds of responses. Hey, God, I love you. What the fuck are we talking about? Talking about me. Amen. We've been talking about me since yesterday. We've been talking about the priesthood, and we've been talking about priestesses and witches and the divine feminine power, source of God's power within the divine feminine. There are 3 responses. It's desired, it's expected, or it's a surprise. And that's really what it is. Like, ooh, what is this? It may have been here. It may have happened here and there, but I don't know if anybody who has refused an opportunity to serve as a priest because of their gender. To be sure, there has been plenty of such discrimination in traditional churches. When I was in seminary, and that's what people don't understand. I'm a hood priestess. Like, I'm so hood that they forget that I'm a priestess. Like, they get too comfortable because of the fact that, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, oh, who is that funny father or something? There's a movie. God, what's his name? Can't even remember. But anyways, he turned priest, and he was still kind of ghetto fabulous. And that's what it is we don't forget where we came from, and that's what it is we're, you know what I mean? We're fucking adopting blocks and spreading it through the streets, but, you know, you get it all twisted. It's like, what do I have to do for you to understand that I'm a priestess? I'm a servant of God everywhere, all the time. That's what I do. That's who I am. I don't know. When I was in seminary, males were preferred, and of those, preference were given Caucasian males. Others were regulated to lesser jobs and lesser opportunities. But we are now in transition period of one age to the next. I'm seeing I'm seeing the Jedi, how they have all the children now. They're like, you know, now they have children together. They have the women as monks and stuff. I'm seeing that. What a weird form, but yes, okay. We are now in transition period from one age to the next, from old thought forms to the last age to new ones of the new age. The order of the Melchizedek is here to bridge any gaps between, here we go with the bridge, through example and service. Melchizedek itself was both male and female. Who's Melchizedek? This one. We talked about him in our last video. All right. It took hundreds of years of birth, life, death cycles, and incarnation to prepare the way for this emergence of the 2 avatars which complemented each other. Miriam and Yeshua, Mary and Jesus, were the male and female energies split between physical male and female manifestations. There's your holy union, twin flames. Quiet on the set. But they represent one teacher, one redeemer. And who's the next book I'm pulling out? The Saint Mary Magdalene book. One Messiah. Together they were representations in 2 physical forms. Today we can address the androgyny of Melchizedek straightforwardly and be better understood than we could have been even 10 years ago. This is not a time for separation by gender, nor is it a time for denial. And that's where I come to set it straight. You can see that I'm very masculine energy, but the most beautiful, seductive female energy that ever existed. I show that we are no less God, and that you, without goddess, are less of God. Truthfully. And we show that. Now what we have out here is a bunch of, you know what I mean, energy confused individuals that believe that they have to be shown on the, it has to show on the outside instead of them balancing it on the inside. Going back to transgenders, or even these dudes that are running around being bitches all day, that want to be chased, they want to be pursued, they want to be lavished in love, they want to get their fucking nails done, and they want to be, you know what I mean, over the top. And then you have all of these overpowerful women that have taken over the man's world. Why? To show the balance, to show the truth. It is the truth that both lie within you. Yes? Yes. Okay. By our example, we demonstrate what is and what humanity is responding to and how to get from here to there. I hear very positive stories from the priest, how others are responding to them and treating them, especially how well all the women are being received, which really is a wonderful thing. For the most part, the priests are neither rejected nor challenged. The people feel their energy, listen to them, and know they are true. Many of the denominations are locked up with priorities and internal processes such like. So it could be impossible for them to pick somebody off the street, so to speak, to come in to teach, heal, and do service. Yet that's exactly what our order does. And that's exactly what Jesus did. The worst of the pickings. So you can go back and look at my 12 flames, my twin flames in the 12, and it's like, Jesus. Talk about the worst of the worst, the fucking bench warmers. But that's what it is anybody can be an expression of God in this life. And that's why there were so few. You know what I mean? Martin Luther King, Bruce Lee, Bob Marley. I mean, there was so few of them because everybody has that beautiful calling in their heart, but so few want to sacrifice themselves, you know what I mean, against their peers in the name of righteousness. Righteousness, bro. They did what was right. And yeah, the persecution came from the very people that they admired and loved and respected. But they did the right thing, and by that righteous act, their names were never forgotten. Pac, Kobe, Nipsey, Nate, Michael Jackson. Never forgotten, bro. They stood for something more than what there was to gain of this world. They stood for something. They stood for righteousness. And not their own, but the persecuted, the less loved, the casted out, the inequality of, you know what I mean? I even going back to, and he's always part of the conversation. always, Abraham Lincoln is always part of this conversation, you know what I mean? He stood against government. It's a beautiful thing. And it can be anyone, you know what I mean? It's going back to, I'm seeing Rosa Parks. You're called to service. That calling on your heart to do something, to act boldly and bravely for the less fortunate. To be somebody's, you know what I mean, savior. To be somebody's hero. To be somebody's voice. To be somebody's avenger. To be somebody's friend. To be somebody's something. You want somebody to be that for you. I understand that. Everybody needs that somebody. You learn to be that somebody for yourself. And then you can do this for other people too. You can learn to teach yourself to be bold and daring and virtuous and honorable and, you know what I mean, dependable and righteous. And then just by your actions, you influence others to take the right actions, to make the same difficult decisions as I do. I really can only inspire you, but I can inspire you because I can actually prove to you and show you that it's possible. And that gives you the opportunity and a mindset of, you know, impossibilities. Yeah. The business of starting out is awkward, but today's society we have tokenism. You look at an advertisement and you know that some wretched designer was called on the carpet for not including an Asian, Native American, black and white, one with disability, an elderly person, and a baby all in one picture. Not long ago, their presence would have been surprising, but now their absence is glaring. Society today is fearful that we are not multicultural, gender fair, disability aware. People are going to raise an uproar. The order is the way ahead. The order is way ahead of the curve. We have priests of every race, color, religion, gender preference, and multiplicity of cultures and national ancestries. So we're not exclusive in presentation. Inclusive is how it needs to be, how it needs to be now, for it's what people need to experience as the new age begins. The people are feeling the order and responding positively because it represents the truth. It brings true to them, and they recognize that a higher level of consciousness. After all, they have little trouble embracing it. My sense is, I don't know how long it'll be, perhaps 1 or 200 years, that many of the world's religions will not exist in their present form, and many more will not exist at all. You may doubt this, but examine human history. How many people are praying to Isis and Osiris, or to Zeus, Apollo, and the Olympians? Why'd you stop? Because it was meant to stop. Why? Because you didn't have to run to any temple anymore. Jesus stopped it all. But it took away from the heritage of all. And that's why it must be known that they were never outside of Christ's teachings, and nobody was ever against Christ, and that it wasn't Christ or nothing, but all for Christ. Really? Yeah. And you know what I mean? It's like, I live, we live, the gods still live, we're here in form now. You know what I mean? But here now to teach you, to teach our following, to follow him. Really? We come together as one religion under Christ. Why? Because of what Christ was. And it can be, if you can be Christ-like in any form, then you can ascend this human form, no matter what religion. You didn't have to be Christian, and that's where the religion itself dies. And it's a way of life. It's a conscious way of life. We all live consciously like Christ did, with an understanding. Now, what it was is anybody that believed outside of Christ was believed to be false. Their beliefs were false beliefs. The understanding is that they never believed falsely, but that all of their gods led up to, all of them lead to the same that. And that's where I can take all of this out. We were just reading The Science of Incarnation, and that goes back to the teachings of Krishna and Vishnu. That's all back to Hindu and Buddhist teachings. But it still aligns, going back to Melchizedek, it still aligns biblically. All timelines line together. All nations, all tribes, all gods that were created of God for the people were all created to get the people back to God. To say that there aren't people that are still praying to Isis is an absolute fucking lie. But by praying to me, is that going to get you back to God in this time? No. I was your way to God into that time. And that's what it was. We were your access then, but we're not your access now. And that was not embracing the new age of time. The one religion doesn't wipe out all the religions. It brings all religions together as one. Whereas before it was, secular. There was Christianity and paganism. pagan religions. And I'm not sure how the pagan religions view the other religions in such sense. But they're far more familiar with witchcraft, the Wiccans, because they see them as individuals, not, covens. And that's really what it was, is you see them as sectors rather than people praising God. You see their ways of praising as evil because they don't praise in the way that you praise, and they don't praise your God. But this is where I show you that all God is God, and how you've long forgotten the goddess, and that the two are one and the same, and that there is no such thing as the devil. Only God, and all things are good, and all the dark days are nothing but trials to the bright future that He has for you. Congratulations. Have I said anything that hasn't been said in every holy scripture that's ever been written about our Lord? It's part of all of these, you know what I mean? Every time. I know of nobody, and those religions were very big in their days, and they lasted for hundreds and thousands of years. Now we're working with a change of the aspect of what we think deity is, and what it represents, and how it reflects in us. And that's where it is, too. It's like they're not falling for the idea that God is just in a book, or God is in a temple. They're understanding that, and that's where we talked about earlier, the superconscious, or the experience of God, and how He is experienced. The contemporary citizen is willing to think thoughts that would have been heresy not so long ago. A lot is moving, and that is a good thing. You may wonder how this can be possible, or this possibly can be, but ask yourself how doctrine and dogma affect us. Do they not allow us to be open, free, and accepting, or do they cause us to be judgmental and separate from our sisters and brothers? How can we serve others if our doctrine tells us that unless they become like us, they're unworthy? And that's what happens, right? You say you work, I'm seeing exactly, probably my daughter, I'm thinking about her real hard.
Huh?
Mary Jane, she's at work, and she works at the hospital, right? They work at the hospital with all kinds of people, guys. Even their co-workers. Some of the best doctors and surgeons we know are from, the Hindu, the Indian background. You know what I mean? Not Native American, but from India, right? They have a ton of them, right? They have all of their Asian communities. They have the blacks. They have, in a hospital, it's one of the most diverse places absolutely ever. You're working with everybody, and they're your friends. You see them, you laugh with them, they're kind to you, you know their family, you care about them. But then you go into church, and church starts telling you that these are ungodly people, and they'll never go to heaven, and they'll never see the glory. And you go to work, and you look at these wonderful people, and it just doesn't align. It doesn't align that my Muslim friends are not going to heaven with me, that they won't celebrate the afterlife with me. That doesn't align. That my lesbian friends aren't going to going to the afterlife with me. None of this aligns. They said that if you did such things, you wouldn't get the afterlife. They tried to hold away the afterlife from you and your family and your friends and anybody that didn't look or act or talk like them. One person doesn't speak for an entire culture. What happened on 9/11 does not speak for the entire Middle East. You know what I mean? A couple of rebels that say that they're killing in the name of God, you know what I mean? Like fucking Manson, and all these, oh, Jesus, the devil told me to do it. I was doing it for the betterment of mankind, shit like that. No, they don't speak for us. And that's what happens, guys. You can love God all your life, bro, but then one day you realize what this person in front of you is asking of you. He's asking of you to think less of the people you love because they're not worthy of God's graces. And it doesn't matter what religion, what temple you sit in. They won't even let me in, most of them. Only because they think that I'm evil. And I care the most about God and His people. I sacrifice my life for these people I don't even know. But because of my skin, my gender, shit, the fucking necklaces I wear, the language that comes out of a cigarette, anything, I am not worthy of their God. That doesn't sound right. Not nowhere, bro. Not in the heart, it doesn't. Not true to the heart. And that's where I got into a big fight with Mr. Plum. And after that, he told me to pack up and leave. We got into a fight because he believes, we were talking about Miss Fry, who lives across the street. And she's a Baptist Christian her whole life. He's not. He's a non-denominational. Liar. Anyways, he goes in to talk about how their belief in their churches, because of the way she was baptized through water, she doesn't get to go to heaven. The way that his church taught him is that the Mormons that come and sit with him every week, those 2 young boys that come and chop it up for hours, and they're not going to heaven. His church teaches him, the book teaches him, that his Muslim friend that stayed at his dying bed for a week when he almost died from sepsis, is not going to be at heaven when he leaves this world. These very Christ-like people will not be in heaven because they didn't operate under the same rules as we do in our house. And that's the same for every household, bro. Something just goes off inside of you when you realize this can't be right. My aunt is going to heaven. I don't care what you say. Every fucking person that couldn't take life and died not going to, you know what I mean, is not going to fucking be, blasted in hell for the rest of their lives. You're making up lies. And that's where you can choose to believe what they say, or you can choose to believe in love in a higher order, which breaks their rules. It breaks their rules. You're breaking their rules in the name of love. And that's where you become Christ-like. Christ broke their rules, bro. I want to remind you of something here. Jesus was a Jew. He was raised as a Jewish rabbi in Jewish mysticism. As his self-proclamation to being the Messiah, he starts a new religion in himself called Christianity, that of Christ. He spreads a new religion that actually gives power to the people the second they start hearing this message. He becomes a self-proclaimed God, and they can't stand it. You want to talk about Christmas? You want to talk about how they knew he was coming and they were hunting him? They were hunting the womb to which he would be born, because he was going to bring salvation. He was going to bring people back together. He was going to set people free by just words. Just fucking words. Those words are hidden in that book, are the most powerful words ever used, but they are used to destroy people, countries, religions, races, and sexes. Fucking genders. Men and women. Those words. Celibacy to the church. They took away a man's ability to give love. They told him to love everyone, but not love a woman and children. And you wonder why he's explosive? That's not true. They adopted that in the 13th century. They said, let's make a new rule for the priests. Let's just keep making rules. Just keep making rules. And everybody must abide by those rules. No, bitch. No, bitch. There was 10 rules. And then he came with 4 more. That's it. What did I come with? 12 plus 2? Do the math. The 10 Commandments were simplistic, which all comes down to being grateful. Just be grateful for who you are and what God's doing in your motherfucking life. And don't go out doing bad shit. Right? After you didn't listen to don't eat the apple, you had to give a couple more rules. And then Jesus taught what? Kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and understanding. That's it. That's it. That's all he said. Show everybody these things. and God shall show you all the wonders of this world. He didn't say to be a sugar mama. He didn't say to be a people pleaser. He didn't say to do any of this. He said not to worry about the things of this world. Keep your eyes on God. Do your due diligence, and God will take care of you. It's the best way he could tell you is how to, get back to the place of God. All the rest of them told you, that's always was the message. How to get you back to God. And that goes back to the super conscious video that I read earlier to you. We're here as a guide to get you back to God. Now, during this time is the divine feminine awakening. This is the new thing. This is the new way. How? Through your feelings. They can't get you to logically listen. They've never been able to get through your mind. It's too difficult, especially this guy. I mean, he can create it, but then it turns into, through that. So that's where the divine feminine happens. The fall of man is the rise of the divine feminine, which is nothing more than the ego. You'll be connected once you get back to your feelings. So then here comes the feminine to teach you how to douse through your feelings. That's the new way. What is the new way? Through your heart. We go through your hard feelings. Really? Unless you want to go through these old paths that never really got you there. You want to go like Wolfman and keep studying old fucking religions to break the code. I've already broken it for you. I've shown you. And I show you regularly. It's not like I'm some old or new thing. It was always the same path. It doesn't matter what book you read it from. But nobody applied it to their life. Physically, really applied it to their life. They never took it literal. These literal studies of religion and ascension and, self-realization and transcendental and all of this, you don't take literal. You'll read stories about these prophets and not realize they were real people that were really trying to get this message to you in the future, to walk and act and honor and talk this way. What worked for them, the ascending masters, they came to teach you how to ascend the life experience. And that's what made them gods. That's what made us gods to you. But we were just... It took evolutions of lifetimes and lifetimes to become that. And then even in my first lifetime, it's like that's what it was meant to be, was to teach you. Let me talk a little bit about Mary Magdalene before we go. I have a page turned down. Where are we at? The wedding feast of the bride? What are we talking about? I don't know. That's what I got at, yes. Before Lady Mary departed her circle in Galilee, she celebrated the rite of the wedding feast with her companions. They gathered under the starry night and reclined at a table. Bread and wine were brought out, and Mary blessed the bread and wine, saying, as Melchizedek... Holy shit. Did you know that was going to happen? No? I never know. My mind is always blown just like yours. My heart knows that we're flowing, but my mind is like, whoa. Sorry. All right. As Melchizedek brought out bread and wine and blessed Abraham and Sarah, so now do I bless you. Look and see the stars and reckon them, for so shall the elect be numbered, and so shall they shine. As the Lord offered up his body and blood, so is this bread and wine the perfect resemblance through which you are also raised up and joined to the mystical body of the anointed. Then she blessed the bread and wine, invoked in the name of the God Most High, the name of the Father and the Mother and the Son and the Daughter, and all partook of the holy feast. There was sorrow and joy among her companions, for many saw the luminous assembly of prophets, angels, and righteous spirits gathering with them, and Mary imparted many secret teachings that night. Yet they mourned the departure of their beloved mistress of spirit, for they adored the anointed bride. When midnight came, the holy bride arose and went to her dear disciple Ruth. She laid her hands upon Ruth, saying, Beloved sister, Mother Spirit calls you to be elder of the circle, for she has established the light in you and granted you acquaintance with the living Yeshua. You are full of light and of spirit, and you know the way, having become the way. Blessed are you, my little one, my sister, my mother, my grandmother. In you there is love and knowledge, and there is an understanding of wisdom. So I call you the knowledge keeper and the mother of the circle. Blessed are you, Elder Ruth, and blessed is Eliron, our father and our mother. Amen. When Mary did this, Ruth shone with a visible light. The stars danced in the sky, and the light and the fire came from the bride and entered into Ruth. She was complete and made perfect on that night. There was an awe and a trembling amongst the companions, and their sorrow was turned into joy. It was a vision of great beauty. All gave thanks to the praise of Yahweh, and to our Lord and Lady. In this way, Our Lady Mary comforted her companions before she departed from them, leaving an apostle of light among them. It's really beautiful. The journey. There is little said of Mary Magdalene's journey to the distant land, although it is said that along the way she stilled a violent sea and called upon the winds for a swift journey. Some have said that they stopped along the way in the land that has been called England, and that Mary preached the gospel of truth there and taught initiated many people before completing her journey. Those who say she laid over in England also say that Saint Joseph of Arimathea died and was buried there. His bones remained at the land this day. Others say that Saint Mary Magdalene, made her way straight to the new land, which has come to be known as South France, and that Saint Joseph, along with Salome, the maiden, and the young lad, was with her, and Saint Michael, when they arrived to southern France. In any case, it is among the people of the southern France that Our Lady made her home, and where she generated many circles of true gnosis. Now when they departed the Holy Land, it was said that the Lady Mary and Saint Joseph carried the sacred lance of the Holy Grail with them, and these holy relics remained with Lady Mary wherever she lived. Thus, ultimately, they were brought to France. Of course, the meaning of the sacred lance is the bridegroom, and the meaning of the Holy Grail is the bride. Hence, the light and the fire of true gnosis. I'm going to stop right there. Why? Because we started on page 90 and 91. And on the other book, we started on page 80 and 81. I get to a place where I feel that it's beyond your belief, and I don't want to push to where you can't take it, because this is the most important stuff to take in. I don't preach all of this. I don't go into the heavy layers of light, because it's so much further than your comprehension. Stuff like trying to teach you quantums or time or karma or law or the order of the tree. All you need to know right now, and all that really matters, is your feelings, bro. Every single thing that ever started with me, the beginning of this story starts with an awakening of my heart. And through that, under the heart trying to have an understanding of the mind and guiding the mind to make different decisions. Is how all of this happens. And that's the way to spirituality. That's the way to Christ. That's the way to magic. That's the way to God. That's the way to self-realization. It is the way. It's to honor the heart. Right? I thought that was crazy that Melchizedek came out in that book. That would freak me out. Really? They always do. But I told you I got all of them yesterday and it made sense. I got that whole download before they said, all right, describe yourself first. Let's tell everyone a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll introduce ourselves. You're like, you know them? I do. They've been with me since the beginning of time. We've traveled through time. It's God and Goddess. Over and over and over. Really? Yeah. Some of them have children on earth. A spark of their light, an incarnation of their light is here with me, right? They're God's children, but they're also ancestral children, part of ancient bloodlines and shit. You know, the shamans and the shit like that. All of them, the gurus and stuff like that. It's like, don't make me call your fathers. Don't make me call your ancestors. And that's what happened with Sangaru. Seriously? I swear to you, it was Krishna that sent me after him. He is the highest level of Hindu spirituality on this planet. And I went straight for him, and he sent me. He said, you're not doing your job. Your God has come to me, and he is unpleased with what you have done. Realistically, yeah. I'll be telling you all the time that Christ didn't say that. Like, dude, did you know that God is not pleased with what's going on around here? Realistically? Oh, yeah. And then we can go back to ancients, yeah. Let's just check the energy. It's like, I get so far out into there, it's like, oh, let's see what's going on Earth. Me and my daughter went for a walk, and that was cool. Dude, I had the best fucking Thanksgiving. They were like, go get seconds. I'm like, bro, I'm going to explode. Are you serious? Yeah, they served us a great meal. But my daughter wanted birthday cake. She wanted tres leches birthday cake. So we went and walked down and got a birthday. Why'd you walk? Because it was a beautiful day, and I didn't expect all that traffic. It's like, what is all this traffic? She's like, they're going to...
She was yapping about car.
She was like, they're going to the liquor store. I was like, all these people? Shut up. The card flipped over. Oh, we're still in the King of Wands energy on. It's at the bottom of the deck. The Star. And the Queen of Cups. Whoa, bro. Whoa, bro. Whoa. I'm in a fabulous energy, and that's where you balance this energy. You have to balance your fire against your water. Really? What's the Star? Didn't you hear? It's what we are. If you go out right now, you can see the moon. That's why I haven't been seeing the moon, because it's been out so early. She's out right now. She'll be across the sky before like 8 o'clock tonight. She'll be tucked away from our sky. Really? Yeah, she's beautiful. The Knight of Wands, we read about this. I mean, the King of Wands, we've been reading about it. We're still in the same energy. And the Queen of Wands, I feel like I'm in an Empress energy. And I want to talk about that. I was singing out there in the sunshine. If you stand in the sun, it's so beautiful. It was. Well, the sun is setting right now, so you're not going to catch it. But I was singing, you know what I mean, Bob Marley songs, and it's like, I'm so blessed and highly favored. I'm just super blessed, and it's just because of, what is it? It's because of hard work, determination, and keeping my faith in God. And it's like, dude, I'm sitting there, I have every reason to be absolutely grateful. I have an appointment next week where a woman's going to come, ask me some questions, and go find me a fucking house. Alright? I got everyone, they're going to pay for all of my furnishings. I'm making money right now. I've got I have a new idea of a new job idea for when I start this new house. I'm going to get a new car. I have a new man eventually when I get past this bullshit. I have a whole new life ahead of me. I am so absolutely grateful. And then the fact that they just catered in unbelievable great food. It was not the typical, and they had all these people that chose to spend their holiday feeding homeless people. You could tell they were all, I was grateful for them. And they brought in all this catered food, and it was just amazing. And I'm like, wow, I'm so blessed. God's people, you know what I mean? It didn't come easy. It came with a lot of humility. It came with, but God promised that if I gave all this up, he'd give it back times 10. And he is. He's going to give me a better home, better furniture, a better life, a better mindset. He's actually going to bring me a man. He's got me a career. He's got me fame and fortune. He gave me everything. I just had to go through a lot of fucking Ego death. What did it cost? It costed my old life. I'm almost there. As soon as it's done, dude, I could take a break. I could rest. The documentary is done. You finally see the outcome. You've seen that everything came out fine. That it really worked. That everything I believed was true and I never had to fucking... It's over. Only for it to begin, but at least the first chapter. The whole point of my documentary was to, my documenting my awakening and my calling to God and teaching people to answer these callings, and this is what it looks like, and this is what is going to be called of you. Through the whole time, everybody's like, well, where's your God? How come you're still homeless? How come you don't got your life together? Where's your God? Where's your man? Where's this? Where's that? Right? They just wanted they wanted to see it faster than I could even see it. And again, that's what I said earlier. It's like it's happening faster than I can believe it. It's just like it took 3 years to destroy, only to come together within like the blink of an eye. But it wasn't. It was years and years of believing, no matter what was happening and how much further I kept falling down. No matter how much harder it became for me, I still kept believing harder and harder that it was going to be okay. And my belief made it better than okay. And the wraparound services, they've got me. They're not going to just throw me out there, you know what I mean? Realistically, they got me for at least a year. They're going to take care of me, not all of my bills, but I've got to, you know what I mean? I've got support until I can fully do this all on my own. And that's what's really cool. That's something I never had in my life. And that's why my life was so difficult. And God said, you know what I mean? Give it to me. Give me all your burdens, and I'll take care of you. Obviously, you know what I mean? It doesn't come with, without the hard work, but that's what it really is. And the hard work is keeping your heart open and taking the fucking difficult, making the difficult choices. I'm seeing the apostles, when they met Jesus, what he was talking about filled them with such joy that they sat there and they're like, the feeling he gave them was so much more exhilarating than the idea of going back to wherever they came from. It was Forrest Gump. It's like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? People just wanted to follow him. It was better to be in his energy than to go back to wherever they came from. And if you sat with him, you did nothing but fill yourself with more knowledge, wisdom, hope, faith. And so it starts with a simple calling, you know what I mean? Until it's just you and the Spirit of the Lord. And that's all that matters. It's like footprints in the sand, but he's sitting right next to you. When I go outside, I'm having a conversation with God and the entire universe. They're showing me my life, the parts that I didn't see. We're re-experiencing my life together. The things that when we're not doing, we're reflecting on what I have done, making jokes and critiquing it. And the Holy Spirits are laughing about stuff. And it's a great laugh. And I'm like, yeah, God, it's a whole family inside. And that's what you're going for, you're going back home. I'm going to cry. Before I awoken, I looked forward to death. I was like, man, one day I'll die, and then I can be with all my friends and all my family and everybody that I loved. Because my mom had died, and the family that I cared about had died, and I lived in a world where I didn't care about anyone else. So it was just, I got to stick out my time until I can be with them. And that's kind of how my grandma was towards her end. She's just waiting for God to come get me. You know what I mean? You're waiting for your time for him to come get you so you can go be, free with everyone that's already there waiting for you. They're already there. You want to be with them. So it's awesome. But then, during the awakening, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to leave this earth to be with him. They can be here with you through your experience, and it can be a family ordeal. It's a really great thing. But it does start, the whole ascension starts with answering your heart. It's asking you to do things, and it in the beginning you have to give it, you have to listen to it. And it becomes more powerful where it starts to, infect the mind, and that's what is happening. Scientifically, that's what this is. The ascension back to your spirit is a descension from your mind to your heart that can take lifetimes of lifetimes trying to overcome the mind to do what the heart is yearning for. My whole documentary is showing how this happened. How my heart just kept calling me, and people thought I was crazy because of this calling in my heart. Yes, because I could see other things, they thought that I was crazy. But I did it in the name of God, and now I'm at the end where I can show you God did it all. And that's the most crazy part. Not just the Salvation Army, but here comes the Jewish family services to save me, the Priestess. Do the Jewish people know that they are saving, you know what I mean, the woman from the Revelation times? The same Jewish people that hung Jesus are now here serving the dark goddess? Crazy as it is. And that's the irony in time. At the end I have the Hierophant. You could say we got a new leader, but Melchizedek has always been leading. He's just back to lead the new crowd. And that's where you're going to get to. If you can ever get all the way through it, and I'm the only person too, then you'll end up with Metatron. How do you get there? Christ. Really? It's a way. It's a way of being, bro. If you apply that way of being, that's how you get there. It starts changing the way you be, the way you're being towards others, and it changes others being towards you. And yes, the light causes you to cast out darkness in your life and in other people's lives. It really does. It causes you to be virtuous. It causes you to be a leader. Really? At the bottom of the deck is the Queen and King of Wands. But it's all through your heart space, bro. That's what's going to bring the happiness. Really? These cards are getting great. Really? What's underneath? The Two of Wands, which is union. The Seven of Pentacles, which is in the 8. This is all getting good. Really? Oh, it just keeps getting better. I can't even. Really? Yeah, show them what you got. It comes into union. Cultivation. After some communication that ends in happiness and a truce of new love. And no more worries. Because the truth is coming out, and it'll be a rebirth and a new beginning of a leap in faith of new manifestations. Really? My future's so bright. I gotta wear shit. You just gotta go through the dark days. And that's where it is. I'm not gonna tell you this is easy. I tell you it's anything but. It's simple. It's not easy. And that's what makes it hard, the breaking of the mind. You're going against what you think and what other people think. It kills you. And the more you break it, the more suicidal you become during those times. Really? Yeah? If I look back on this year, I would have to say I did so many massive ego jumps this year that I may have got suicidal at least. I could think of like 4 times since summer. How many since before summer? How many times did I break my mind where I just wanted to die and I can't even think of tomorrow because I've ruined today. That's like every fucking Saturday around here, dude. Seriously? And yesterday, did you hear what I said to the twin flames? It never sticks, guys. It never sticks. I have been telling them mean shit since the beginning. I promise you, it never sticks. It sticks in stones, bro. If that worked, Russ would leave me alone. I've said every mean thing in the world to that man. It's vice versa. He did everything to make me go away, and I didn't go nowhere. Bitch, I ain't going nowhere. Marshall, how you feel about the Lions losing the fucking game that I told you 3 weeks in a row that they were going to lose? Told you. Can you stop now? No? You want to bring out the pen and paper? Douchebag. You know what I heard when they said you were performing that? He has to play an oldie because there's nothing new that's good. Oh, an oldie because there's nothing goody. There's no goodies. I love teasing you guys. Really? Yeah, I love being dark. It's really so great. Don't you like to dress up for Halloween and just be dangerous and unapproachable? Sometimes I try to put on makeup, it doesn't work. I try to do a lot of things, it doesn't work. They can still see my light. They know I'm full of shit. They know I love them. Fuck you. Just go fuck yourself. Not today. Wait till I get a period or something.
Ew. Period sucks.
Ew. Who said that?
You should go fuck yourself.
Oh. Anyways, moving on. I want some of that pie or that cake. We talked about heart space. That's all it means, bro. I'm not trying to push Christianity. Unfortunately, Jesus' words are hidden in the Christian religion. I'm not trying to push Buddhism. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Buddha's words are hidden in Buddhism. That's all it is. I'm not trying to push witchcraft. Unfortunately, any woman that had fucking prophetic gifts was considered a witch.
I knew it. She's been scratching up the carpet.
She's been doing something over there. I hear her doing it all the time.
She's scratching up the carpet. I see it. She's been pulling it up.
What an asshole. That damn dog. Anyways, it's a happy day, and I hope you have a happy day. Tomorrow is Friday then, and it's probably going to call you in your heart to make a decision like it always does. I feel like I've already made my decision for the week. They could ask me to change my mind and do something else. They do whatever they want. I just do what God says, usually, until I don't. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's okay, too. It doesn't really get you anywhere. Where does it get you? I don't know, just in turmoil with God, and you just don't want to come to an agreement. Can we just agree to disagree? You think they're great people? I think they're not. Okay, then. And we move on. He wins, ultimately. Why? Because he wants you to believe in the goodness. So, yeah, you're great. All great. Happy holidays to you and your family and all that. Don't forget your plate to go. See you next holiday. Yeah. Where are we? We're in a Bob Marley energy. We're in the Empress energy. We're in a heart space energy. And if you're not there, which you're probably not because you're dealing with your fucked up family, and that'll fuck up your energy. Light a candle. Pray to God. Ask him to, mend your heart and show you the way. Something like that, I suppose. I mean, that's what I used to do. God, what do you want me to do, bro? I didn't do it like you guys. I'm like, God, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? You told me to do this, and now I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. And then I sit there, and there's nothing. It's like quiet. So I know I gotta wait until he tells me what to do. How long does that take? I mean, how long have you been watching? I only do what he says. I don't do whatever I want, and then I'll think about something, and then I'll ask God if I should do that. That guy said, let me buy some food stamps. Let me ask God. I don't know. I don't make decisions without God's permission. Really? Yeah. Why? Well, sometimes he forces me, like, you got to do something. I'm praying. I'm crying to Jesus. What am I going to do? So it's your life. Live your life. Come on, just give me the right answer. There's no right answer. Do something. All right, I'm going to break the window. That was what you chose to do? Hey, shut up. Many people have made that decision. It was the first time I ever made that decision in my life. I instantly regretted it. Probably like every other person that makes it. But life went on, didn't it, though? Really? Yeah, those were one of those. It never really bothered me. It doesn't bother me at all that I ever did it. But when I was thinking about the consequences of this decision, I was terrified. And after it was done, I just fucking crucified myself for making that decision. I've never hated myself so much for making a decision in my life. Which was what? To break my window because I locked my keys in the car with my phone? That's not very, I mean, you know, it was difficult. Sometimes you gotta grow up and make a decision all on your own. I was like, God, what do I do? What do I do? And then he's like, well, what you could do, or what you could do, you could have faith and just go home and then have all the faith in the world that nobody... I don't have faith in humanity, God. They're going to see my phone and my keys in that front door, and they're going to break the window themselves. Then break the window. I just want you to see how difficult this decision might be that he's asking you to make tomorrow. You might have to break a window, or an entire mirror, or an entire fucking house of glass that's shattered in illusions, bro. He's gonna ask you to break something. Leave that's no longer serving you. Really? Yeah. I hope this was inspiring. Really? Yeah. I mean, that's all we can do, right? Right. Hey, I love you guys. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day. Good day to you. Good day, peoples. Good day. Today was a good day.